Salt, water, and cabbage. This is what we need to make some sauerkraut, guys. I'm going to walk you through this process. Basically, you quarter up your cabbage, you salt it with about 3 teaspoons of salt.
Tablespoons. No, you're right, you're right. Sorry, I'm not talking anymore.
So basically you shred your cabbage and you add 3 teaspoons of salt to it. You grind it up a little bit with your fingers. It'll draw the moisture out. You place it in a container with a stone and submerge it in its own brine. If you don't have enough brine, you add 1.5 tablespoons of salt per container of water. And basically what you're doing is you're creating an environment for good bacteria to thrive and not so great environment for the bad bacteria to make it. People have been doing this for a long time. You can ferment surprisingly a lot of vegetables. A lot of people don't know that you can ferment you know, carrots and onions and whatnot, but today we're doing kraut, so stick with me. And first process here is to wash your cabbage and quarter it up. Take your core out, and I'll show you that for you. Check it out. Of this Himalayan salt, we're going to drop it on there and grind it with our fingers. The water will be extracted out of the cabbage. If you need to place it in a container and submerge them when this is all said and done, you'll need a brine, and I'll show you how to do that in case it doesn't extract enough water out of it. So let's mix our salt up and up in there and see how much this thing actually shrinks down. I got one of these pounders here. They seem to do really well. They work very well after you salt your cabbage and mix it up. I gave it a little pounding, mix it up, pound it a little more. It does good. It was a gift for me on my birthday. And my wife was very thoughtful. She knows that I like to do stuff like this. So yeah, the pounder works good. Otherwise, just get in there with your hands and mix that stuff up. It'll wilt down to almost nothing, guys. I mean, you'll be surprised how much cabbage will wilt down to nothing. So you won't have not near what you think you will. If you want to do a batch, I suggest you do a larger batch. If you can do a larger batch at one time, you know, do it. When I transfer these, I'll be transferring them into some mason jars that I have a stone I will place on the top of it to keep all my contents below brine level. Anything below the brine level is good. Anything above brine level is bad. You do not want to have anything above on the surface there, because it's more apt to collecting mold and whatnot. If you're doing this and you do see a little bit of mold on the top, that's not bad necessarily. Just skin it off, and yeah, I mean, the contents underneath should be fine. A lot of people worry about that kind of stuff, but people have been doing this for thousands of years. Always give it the smell test, the taste test. It's going to be funky, guys, because you're making kraut. I believe once you do this, you won't go back to using the store-bought stuff. I think you'll enjoy this to the point where one of the neighbors is shooting. That's a common occurrence around here. But yeah, I mean, we'll keep on it. You'll see it will down to nothing. We'll take it from there. Alright guys, this is my brine. It is a quart. I'm going to add a teaspoon and a half of Himalayan salt per quart. Mix it up. It'll make your brine. While this is wilting down, then we'll show you the next step in this process. This Himalayan salt is fantastic, by the way. On an added note, if you guys have city water, you might want to go out and buy you a container, a jug of clean water that is not chlorinated. You do not want like a chlorinated water, city water, whatnot. Here where I'm located, we are on the system here, and yeah, the water's chlorinated. So I went out and bought a jug of water, a good clean jug of water, something that'll encourage bacterial growth. Bacteria isn't a bad thing, guys. It's, you know, a lot of products, cheeses, wines, all these things use fermenting. So don't be scared to try, guys. I mean, you know, you got to do it sometime, right? So experiment with it. Maybe next time I'll do cabbage. I've never, or not cabbage, but carrots. I really want some carrots. I think I'll do an experimentation there and see if that works. But my brine is done. My cabbage is wilting down. And all is well, guys. So there's my brine.
Experiments. This is sweet banana pepper. This is green bell pepper. I couldn't help myself. I did these on Sunday. Sorry. You said experiments. I had to show my experiment. Here, you want to see what Chris is doing in there? Let me help him out here.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
It's wilting down to nothing.
Yep. You might only have one jar. That was a small cabbage.
That was a small cabbage.
Well, they were all small.
I know.
I mean, the organic ones anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, by the way, I was picking cabbage worms off the collards.
Yeah.
And our cabbage is making tiny heads.
Aw. Get in there and don't be afraid to pound that stuff, guys.
Here, pound it with
I'm
the
old
kraut
school.
pounder.
The kraut pounder. Check this out.
That was part of his birthday present.
What kind of kung fu training is that? You need to be beating it with your fists.
Hey, it's great kung fu training. That's a weapon.
Could be. Alright guys, kraut's in my mason jar. I put a little leaf on the top of it, and the reason is you want to be able to keep all that stuff below water level, the brine level. So, place me a little leaf in there. I got these handy dandy weights by Aga. It's going to go on the top of my leaf. And now I'm going to apply my brine. So, next we add our brine to our kraut, or soon to be kraut. It is very important, guys, that you leave some head space. Leave some head space at the top of your jar. This stuff will ferment and it'll bubble over. It's not going to be good. It's not good. Don't do that. Yeah. So, everything is now at this point submerged in my brine. I take one of these handy dandy nipples here. These are great. Put that bad boy right on the top. Put me on a ring. And that's it, guys. In about 5 to 6 weeks I'll have kraut. You want the temperatures between 70 and 75 degrees or so. It's that simple. I mean, you'll never go back to store-bought kraut again. You'll taste it and you'll be like, why haven't I been doing this? What's wrong with me? But yeah, you learned a new skill today, and this will stay for a good while. Like I said, this is how people used to preserve their greens up through the winter time. There's actually other tricks that you can do with cabbage, such as hang them upside down and whatnot, and it will last longer. They will surprisingly last a long time. So in about 5 to 6 weeks, guys, I'll let you know how this experiment works, but that's how you make kraut. All these little bits, I'm going to push them to the bottom, clean that up a little bit, make it look pretty. So, alright guys, this is my second container of soon-to-be sauerkraut, and this one here I've put some caraway seeds. I put a good pinch full in there. Just doing a little experimentation, and a garlic clove. Again, it's all under my stone, under my leaf. brine's in there. Nothing's floating to the top. If I find something floating to the top, I'll scoop it off. Everything will be well. So, yep, that's the second. All right, y'all. I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe.
Talk about your fermentation talk.
That's my top. All right, guys. I appreciate you watching this episode of Black Pack Homestead. I'm gonna wrap up this episode. 5 to 6 weeks we'll have sauerkraut, and God willing. So God bless y'all. Have a good one, and keep watching. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.